The village whispered about him. Obina, the outcast, the boy no one dared to trust, the one who lived alone on the edge of the forest, whose shadow was never welcomed among the villagers. But Nneka did not care. She saw him differently, and the forbidden pool between them grew quietly like fire under ashes. One evening, Obina wandered deep into the forest, past the winding paths no villager dared tread. There, he met an old man, bent, sharp-eyed, mysterious. They spoke in whispers. The old man said something that lingered heavy on Obina's heart. He left the forest that night, the words of the old man weighing on him like a stone. What exactly the old man had offered or promised, nobody would ever know, not yet. A few nights later, under the silver light of a full moon, Obina approached Nneka at the edge of the river. "We need to seal our love," he said softly, a strange urgency in his voice. Nneka, heart pounding, nodded. She trusted him even when the world would not. And so they prepared for the blood oath. The village slept unaware, their whispers and disapproval carried away by the night wind. The two lovers knelt beneath the moonlight, hands joined, hearts racing, as the oath bound them in ways neither fully understood. When it was done, Obina smiled at Nneka, but there was something in his eyes, a shadow of unease, a heaviness he could not shake. Nneka, however, laughed softly, her heart alight with hope and love. The oath had been taken. The villagers would not accept it, the forest would not speak its secrets, and the old man's words remained a secret tucked in Obina's heart. And so their love began, forbidden, bound, and heavy with a silence no one yet understood. Weeks passed after the blood oath. Nneka felt the warmth of love, but the world around her began to change in ways she did not understand. Small pimples appeared first, tiny and stubborn across her cheeks. Then boils spread over her arms, her shoulders, even her back. Her once bright eyes now carried a dullness, and her skin grew pale, almost ghostly. She felt weak, heavy, as if each step required more strength than she had. The villagers noticed. Mothers whispered. Neighbors avoided her. "What is happening to Nneka?" they asked each other in hushed voices. Some feared it was a curse. Others blamed Obina, though no one dared speak it aloud. Obina visited her at first, 3 times, always under the cover of night. He held her hand, whispered promises. "You will be fine, you will be fine." And for a while, it seemed she believed him, but then he stopped coming. Night after night, Nneka waited. 1 night, 2 nights, 3, he did not appear. Her strength waned further, and a heavy doubt began to creep into her heart. Where is he? What has happened to him? She wondered, too weak to go search for him herself. So she sent a trusted friend to his hut. The friend returned with heavy news. "Nneka, he is gone. His hut is empty. Nobody knows where he has gone." Her heart sank, and as whispers of fear and misfortune grew louder, even her family began to worry. They tried herbs, medicines, every remedy they knew, but nothing worked. Nneka could only lie on her mat outside the house, the sun burning her pale skin, powerless, wondering why this was happening. Finally, desperation led her family to a renowned medicine man from a distant village. He arrived with beads of power, herbs, and a calm yet commanding presence. He examined Nneka carefully. He looked into her eyes and asked, softly but firmly, "Child, what did you do under the moonlight that no one knows of?" Nneka's heart froze. Her secret, the blood oath, spilled slowly from her lips. She told him everything, the oath, the promise, Obina, the forbidden love. The medicine man listened, unmoved by fear or scandal. When she finished, he spoke. "It is not the oath that harms you, child. Something far deeper is at work. Tell me, did he wash his hands after the blood was shed?" Nneka shook her head, confused. I washed my hands, but I do not know about him." The medicine man's eyes narrowed. "Then he carried your blood elsewhere. He used it in ways you cannot yet understand, to change his fate, not yours. and it has cost you your health, your beauty, your strength. Ineka felt a chill sweep through her soul. The love she had given, the trust she had poured into Obinna, had somehow been used to lift him from his exile while leaving her to suffer alone. The medicine man placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. There is a way to undo this, child, but it requires both of you, under the full moon, a ritual of separation, to break the chains that were never meant for your heart alone. Ineka's chest tightened. He must agree? She asked. The medicine man nodded. Yes, and he will have no choice but to face what he has done. Only then will you be free. And as the sun dipped behind the trees, casting long shadows across the village, Ineka understood that the path ahead would be painful, but it was the only way to reclaim her life and perhaps finally to see the truth behind Obinna's love. The night of the full moon arrived. Silver light spilled across the village like a river, illuminating every hut, every tree, every whispering shadow. Nneka's family, the villagers, and the medicine man gathered at the sacred clearing. And then, a figure appeared at the edge of the moonlight. Obinna. He stepped forward, confident, dressed in the finery of a wealthy man from a distant town. But there was unease in his gait, a hesitation in his eyes. By his side, a woman, the one he intended to marry in that town. Nneka's heart pounded. She had imagined this moment countless times, but seeing him here, in her village, under the moonlight, filled her with a mix of fear, anger, and sorrow. The medicine man spoke first. Obinna, you have carried the blood of this girl beyond what was promised. You sought your own fortune, leaving her to suffer. Tonight, all will be revealed. You will undo what you have done, or face the consequences of your betrayal. Obinna's eyes flickered, the truth pressing on him like a heavy stone. He opened his mouth, tried to speak, but the villagers' glares and murmurs silenced him. Slowly, reluctantly, he confessed. I went to the old man in the forest. He told me that my life as an outcast would never prosper, and he gave me a way to change my fate. I used Nneka's blood to lift myself, and I left her to suffer. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Nneka's eyes filled with tears, her chest tight with heartbreak and disbelief. The woman at Obinna's side shrank back, sensing the weight of the betrayal. The medicine man stepped forward. Tonight, we break the oath. Only by the combined presence of both parties, under the full moon, can the spell be undone. Obinna, you must release what is not yours to hold. Trembling, Obinna knelt beside Nneka. The villagers watched in silence as the medicine man chanted, invoking the spirits, the ancestors, and the sacred power of the earth. He drew circles in the dust, sprinkled herbs, and whispered incantations, while Nneka and Obinna held hands, not in love, but in the solemn act of undoing what had been done. A wind stirred from nowhere, strong and cold, lifting hair and leaves. A glow surrounded Nneka, and slowly, the boils and marks on her skin faded. Color returned to her cheeks, strength to her body. Her beauty, the one that had drawn Obinna to her, was restored. When the ritual ended, the medicine man spoke. The chains are broken. Nneka is free. Obinna, you have been given a chance to repent. You are no longer welcome here, nor in the town that bore your greed. The villagers, outraged at his betrayal, drove him from the clearing. Obinna fled into the night, a fugitive with no home, no honor, no love. Nneka, now radiant and whole again, turned to her family and the villagers. Let this be a lesson, she said softly. Not every heart that promises love is true. Not every silence is peace. And sometimes, the greatest pain comes not from death or sickness, but from the betrayal of those we trust most. The seasons passed. Nneka grew strong, her laughter echoing through the village again. She met a kind and wealthy suitor, a farmer whose heart was true, and together they built a life of joy and respect. Her love, once marred by deceit, blossomed into a life of hope. And far away, Obinna wandered, a man haunted by his choices, forever remembering the blood oath he betrayed and the price of the greed he chose over love. Under the full moon, the village slept peacefully. For once, no shadows lurked, no whispers haunted the night, and the story of love, betrayal, and redemption found its end.